Fitzgerald. There's Cunningham.
He's coming. Right on board here. Look at this on the outside right there.
We've got a trick new camera on board this. It's a 360 roof cam. So no matter where Petey is, we can give you a view of anything going on around him. Heading down into the double apex here. Here's that turn 11, Dorsey, and the big launch.
You know, Petey said if he can get through here without knocking the doors off the car, that's a very astute thing to say. He's got to be aggressive on the first lap because you do your most damage right here. You can get a lot further up on the first lap, but it's also very tight, close in proximity with all these other cars.
Now here, the BMW, you can see it's still a little bit down on power to the Mustang and the vet in front of him. That's Paul Brown off to his right, one of the Hallmark trailers.
Oh,
there's a hit!
Right in front.
Oh, he's coming right back around. Petey goes high. Oh, nice save. That was a great save. Mark Anderson in the 928 International Porsche 928 got hit by one of the vets, went around and saved it. Saved Petey's skin as well.
Well, that's the problem with starting in the back that Petey has alluded to. You have to really keep your eyes open because that stuff happens in front of you. You can be taken out in someone else's wreck. Petey did a good job of reading that accident right there.
Well, he immediately moved high, and that's what the safest thing. But boy, that other guy, what a great save again by Mark Anderson. On board with Petey now looking back. There's that rear wing, and that's Paul Brown, I think, tucked right up underneath that wing. But once we get into the infield stuff here, this is where Petey tends to shine. Now let's take a look at this from a little different angle. Petey's way low, and there it is.
Petey's down on the apron. The other guy's up on the banking, and the problem is, you know the car's going to come off the bank when it spins. He knew that Porsche was going to come down, so he slowed the BMW. One thing that car does have is some awesome brakes.
Big time. Now here's the onboard shot, and there's that vet going up, and boom. Just got in the back of him.
Right in the back of the Porsche. And right there was the moment where the Porsche could have come back up, but luckily the driver catches it.
We have a full course yellow. We're under a full course yellow here now in Las Vegas. And taking a look at some of the action over there in the chicane on board now with Mike Galati. And he continues to lead. This yellow is not what he wanted. He'd opened up with that start. A bit of a margin, was up almost a second over second place. Fitzgerald, then Borchler, then Sed, and then Cooper. And there is Galati just waiting for the pace car to pick him up. We're very early into this race. 30 laps, the lap count here, or 50 minutes. Time to mention. There's your top 10. Some debris in that chicane, and we are green. Galati read that beautifully. Look at the lead he's got right now with Fitzgerald second, then Borchler in the first of the two Blue Nose cars, then Boris Said, and then Cooper. And look at this, Shart trying to get down inside McMillan, who was trying to get inside Heinrichsey. McMillan, the red BMW, and the yellow sandwich there. The vet up front is Heinrichsey. Behind him is Shart in the Porsche.
Here comes Cunningham, and this is what he needed, this yellow flag. It bunched him back up. It gives him a better opportunity. Now, look, he's working on Brown right there, Paul Brown.
Tommy Safar, actually, he's going by. Now, we figured it out here in the opening two laps. Petey averaged 11 cars per lap that he's passed. He's up into the 20s already. By that math, he should really be leading in 5 laps, don't you think?
Yeah, if the math works out right, I agree with you.
No extra pressure, though, Petey. Obviously, it gets a little tougher as you get a little closer to the front. And here's the rest of the field streaming through. There was a good look at Mr. Derek Bell.
He's coming in right now.
He's really right there is Derek as he slots through.
Right behind Archer. There's a Kitchak. There's a car off.
Oh, way off. By the way, there's that one car with Scott Beauvais, too. Interesting little development here. Stoddard Porsche is a Porsche Audi dealership, and of course Champion Audi is also a Porsche dealership, and they have a little charity challenge thing going on here. The loser is going to be buying more raffle tickets for some charities than the winner is, but both of them are going to end up buying raffle tickets. Great program between these two guys. Let's go back and take a look at a bit of a moment here for Dave Shart and McMillan, and behind them, look at that, there's Archer and Bell, and there's a little bump.
Yeah, that was a little hip check right there as Archer got into the backside there of Bell. Puts him off the outside with the all-wheel drive. That doesn't hurt him all that much as long as he doesn't get a punch.
And look at the pressure that is being applied to Galati. Fitzgerald, the silver Porsche, right behind the leader, then Borchler.
Then Sed.
And right behind them, as we pointed out, is Heinrichsey, who's having a very strong race. Look at this battle here. Oh, swinging way high goes Borchler. And Galati protecting. Oh, got a little loose on a braking there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He got a big wiggle as he was way down on the bottom and didn't have a very good radius to turn down across.
There's Derek Bell as he exits the banking and down into the infield section of track. And Derek getting into the busy side of the infield here. There's that kink, that high-speed right. Now here's the left. And now he goes through this long double apex corner. It's been a busy couple of opening laps for Derek. How's it going, Derek?
Well, we're here just after a full course yellow, the restart. I had quite a good start myself on the restart, but I got hit by Archer coming into braking area. He put me out too wide, so I dropped back a bit. I'm not sure if my tire's all right. It feels a bit nervous. Anyway, we're trying hard and long way to go yet.
That's true. A lot of laps left to go in this one, and he got all 4 off in that dirt and gravel, and obviously it's got to take a couple laps for those tires to come back.
Yeah, you always wonder if you have a puncture, but what happens, you go out there and you get all the debris on the tire. It takes a lap or 2 for the tire to come back, and it sure feels like you got a flat, at least until the debris wears off your tires.
Now there's Archer, just got by McMillan, and in terms of the championship, right in front of him is Cooper. So that's Cooper who's 3rd in the championship, Archer's 2nd, and then behind him is McMillan who's leading. And this is the battle for 8th overall, but it's got some overall points implications right there. And I mean, McMillan, if he stays that close to Archer, that's really going to be job well done in many ways.
This is exactly what you see Jeff McMillan do every single weekend. You see him right there, right within striking distance, but never getting his nose in trouble, never willing to exchange and have a fender taken off of him, and that's why he's our leader right now.
Working through the infield, good onboard shots, and oh, Scotty White in problems, Calvin.
Well, I think he's got an overheating engine, Greg. There's a lot of grass in the radiator. They've got the air compressor trying to blow it out and clean the rat out, but there's a lot of smoke emanating from the top half of the engine, so he may have damaged it. They're asking him to refire it up. He killed the engine when he came in. They're trying to clean out the engine bay. They're looking at the temperature gauge inside the cockpit, determining whether it'll be safe to go back out.
And apparently they're also working a little voodoo magic down there in the pits here. Oh, it is Halloween, isn't it?
That is the ugliest true man I have ever seen. Right there.
Yeah, got the witch doctor working on the problem there. And look at this. Fitzgerald, a little bit of a run at Galati down into the chicane. And Borchler got into that chicane very well right behind Fitzgerald, trying to get the power down here. Boy, those 3 are starting to ease away now from Boris said, Heinersee and the rest. Looks like Galati able to get through that section of track and give himself just a little bit of room.
Well, he's good on the infield, but he's really a sitting duck when he gets up on the high-speed stuff.
All right, Galati leads him down into the infield, and this is where that car shines. He leads it over Fitzgerald, Borchler, Seddon, Heinersee, P.D. Cunningham, 16th, folks. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Las Vegas, Nevada, but we want to remind you of something coming up this Sunday. It is our championship triple header from San Diego, live Speed Vision touring cars, followed immediately live via Goodrich Tires Trans Am, followed immediately live Speed Vision GT Championship, all from San Diego, all live Sunday, November 5th, beginning at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Just turn the TV on and let her roll. It is going to be a lot of fun coming from San Diego to decide the championships. And for Galati, this is big decision time. He has caught some traffic. His lead, which had been up to a little bit over a second, is evaporating in a hurry, and that's what we talked about. This car still doesn't have quite the power of the other cars, and that can hurt you so bad in traffic.
Well, that Ferrari was the second car this lap he's had to overtake, and his 1-second lead is completely been abolished. And the guys you got to watch out for, I think, are those 2 Mustangs right there, because when they get in traffic, the high horsepower, Jerry Borchler right there, Boris said right behind him, those guys can get to the front quick.
But Galati is getting out of that turn 11 in this launch incredibly well. That's just a matter of the grip, I would think, and he is just making the absolute best use of it possible.
He needs to, because watch what happens right here. You saw the grip. He made that big gain. Well, it's all going to go away. Oh, we've got an accident going on, the 47.
That's Mark Anderson in the white 928 again, and the 47 vet of Bob Taylor, the McClure Construction vet, going around. Obviously some contact. See the damage there.
Big contact.
Yeah.
Of course, his whole passenger side is stove in, and of course the front left of the vet there you see demolished. Look at the right side of this. That car is done.
Wow, he got center punch big time.
Yeah, that 928 needs to go to a shop. So, oh, look at the back of it.
Boy, he got into it a couple of times. So he's just going to try and get, I would think, down the pits.
That's a used up piece right there.
That's a car who's seen better days. So, wow, tough day. Of course, he was the one that got tapped. Wow, that damage to the back's probably where the vet got him when he spun in front of Cunningham earlier. Look at this.
Well,
he loops there. Boom.
Oh, see, that was a shame, because it wasn't his fault at all. The Corvette was out of control, came across the racetrack and center punched him. Look again right here.
Yeah, that's Taylor in the vet right
across.
here. He tries.
No. What more can you do than that? I mean, he tried everything you could do.
Yeah, and obviously then the damage was from the contact from that other vet that tagged him right in front of Cunningham. Yeah. So it's been a tough day for him. On board now with Mike Galati, your leader. And you traffic in front. Here is where Galati is. This is his strongest section of track. He is absolutely able to launch onto the infield. And Biz, I tell you what, that is saving his skin. This battle for the lead, 3 cars look awful tough.
Well, actually, Boris said, watch him. He's coming into that group, too. But I asked Mike Fitzgerald about how he felt about being a sandwich between the Audi and the Saleen. He said, well, the Audi has the handling and the Saleen has the power, but I have the right combination of both. So he was very happy, very optimistic about this. And then I went to Borchello. I said, can you get around the Porsche with all that power? He said, not the way he gets the power down going onto the oval. So it's a real big bag of mixed cards out there, guys.
Big bag. And Boris said it, moved his way up into third, but got into that third turn, the hairpin down in the infield. Dorsey way hot, and Borcheller's back in third.
Yeah, he just got by Terry, and then he just patted himself on the back and ran out of road down there, locked her up, did a great job of car control, not to spin that car, as he was way out of control.
It was a great save. Here's a look at Bill Cooper, currently runs in the 6th spot. Right behind him is Archer in 7th. Then it is Shart, and then Bell. Derek Bell is 9th. On board there with Cooper, a lot of power. You can see the power loose. But, boy, once he gets it straightened up, that car moves. Let's go back and take a look at what happened to Boris.
Well, he's all locked up at the rear. He had to get off the brakes to get the thing to turn in. Now he's back on the brakes. Now he's got a big oversteer problem. Car control comes in here. He does everything right not to wreck. But, of course, that was all his own fault.
Yep, just got it loose, and it allowed Borchello to go back to third. Set slips to 4th, then Heinrichs, and then that battle we've been watching as well with Cooper, Archer, and Shart. Here's a good look at Boris, the AER, Authorized Engine Remanufacturing. That's a company that rebuilds blocks for Ford. Even doesn't work for Chevy now, but it's long been associated with Ford.
They do everything. They rebuild motors for everything. Authorized Engine Rebuilders. Bob McGraw owns that company. Great guy. Has helped Ron Fellows throughout his career.
Now we're watching again Galati as he's starting to catch traffic. One thing we talked earlier about the progress that this champion Audi team has been making, and Audi itself follows things pretty closely. Calvin, I understand you've got one of those folks down there with a keen interest in all this.
Yes, we do, Greg. We have the VP of Audi North America, Len Hunt. Got to make you very proud to see that Quattro working on the infield and giving Michael enough of a head start on the straightaway.
Yes, it's absolutely terrific, both for a standing start and then when we're coming out of the outfield, we can really put the afterburner on, put the power down early, because the force is really strong. But this is a bit of a dream come true for us to see us out there in the lead like this.
It's going to be a tough afternoon for Michael. Those Porsches and the Mustang and stuff have a lot of straight line speed. Do you think he can hang on? What will the tire wear be like this afternoon?
We're okay on tires. I think you're right. If we can just keep it on the infield, and then as we come out, really turn it on and we're just holding it down this back straight here. But Michael will be so fired up, he's not going to let go. We've got a pretty wide car with the Quattro.
Okay, well, fingers crossed down here in the Audi camp, guys.
And Michael Galati doing a great job, and that's another arrow in the quiver that Audi has. Yeah, they've got Quattro, yeah, they've got Audi Engineering, but they also have Mike Galati, who I think is one of the most underrated, one of the most talented drivers in any paddock today. And an inspired Michael Galati, which he most often is doing the job out on the track. And Fitzgerald is limping down into the pits. Fitzgerald at a crawl. The record is going to go by the wayside. He is pulling in. He is stopped. And looks, I don't see any big hustle from the crew. Let's go down to John Bizignano. He's there.
Well, there's absolutely no crew here whatsoever. He's trying to get the net down. We're trying to help him. Michael's out of the car. The back end of the car, there's certainly some smoke coming out of. He's wandering around to the right-hand side, and he's looking for a hit. Everything is okay to tell you he took a hit right here. There's some, right over this particular right rear, there's some damage here. The tire is still inflated. He's out of the car. There's some paint here on the car. Well, I don't know who he got up against, but it was hard enough to where he thought that the back end was damaged. He's brought the car in. There may be something broken in the suspension, but my gosh, he is out of this race.
Well, it's unbelievable. Not only is that record that he was going to at least tie if he could stay in the hunt and get the win is gone, he's taken a serious hit in those Porsche Cup points that he has been chasing so hard throughout the season. Frustrating day for Mike Fitzgerald, but a great year for Mike Fitzgerald as well. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Las Vegas, and Mike Fitzgerald, you are in the pit lane, not where you want to be. Everything looked like it was going towards your plan to win this race. What happened?
I was following Michael Galati, and he was doing a great job, and we were, I think, easing away a little bit from the pack, and I was hoping it would end up being a two-car battle. I thought we may have had something for him, but we were going through traffic, and Michael got through a couple of cars pretty cleanly in the infield section, and I got by one and went around the other one, and he tracked out and tagged me in the right rear, and I think we've got a broken suspension.
Back markers, guys.
Traffic can play such a key role, Dorsey, and that was evident here today. Now, the record that he was chasing, as we mentioned, he's not going to tie that again today, but again, what an awesome season for Mike Fitzgerald.
Well, while he was doing all that, look here, Boris Sett has taken over second place from Terry Borscheller after his miscue down in turn 1. He gathered it back up and is now back in second place. And look about this man, Peter Cunningham.
He is now up to 11th from 45th, folks. He is one spot away from moving into the top 10. What an unbelievable drive by Peter Cunningham. It's a lap car right in front of him, and then the next car is our points leader, McMillan. And if Petey catches him and moves around, he will be in the top 10. And McMillan, maybe a little bit too cautious today, but not so for Peter Cunningham. He simply dropped the hammer in that Redline Oil real-time BMW up on the banking, and he is absolutely flying. We'll be right back to Las Vegas. To Las Vegas, Nevada for Speed Vision GT action. We're on board with Petey Cunningham as he is attempting to move up into 10th. Oh, there's a guy off to the right there, and right in front, McMillan got very loose. That is your points leader, McMillan, right in front of Petey Cunningham, who currently sits in the 10th spot. Remember, Petey was 6th in the points, but this seems to have awoken McMillan just a little bit.
Right, when Petey caught up with him, it did. For some reason, he's been hanging back. Dave woke up. He turned his fastest race lap as soon as Peter got to him, and then so did Peter, for that matter. Both of them right now lapping quicker than they have all day long.
And right in front of McMillan, that silver Audi, that is Derek Bell. So Petey Cunningham now finds the going tough. And Boris Sett, Dorsey, is coming in the pits 3 times. They showed him the black flag. He's finally acknowledging it for a pass under a local yellow.
Yeah, he didn't come in the first 3 times he got the black. And what they'll do is quit scoring you. Of course, he would like to run next week again. And instead of quit scoring, because he's not in the points battle, they might not let him run next week. So I think finally they said, okay, Boris, come on, bring it in. Now, he's supposed to do a stop and go, and he hasn't stopped anywhere yet.
Well, he's got to go all the way down. I think he thought he'd stop in his pit lane and at the very end of the pit, or in his pit stall, but he's got to go to the very end of the pits, and Cunningham got him.
Cunningham through. That's McMillan. You're on board with Peter Cunningham right in front. And come now from all the way at the back to 10th place.
Unbelievable. Boris Sett, meanwhile, has made his stop and go and is heading back onto the track, but it's going to cost him dearly in terms of position. You can't pass under a stationary station yellow until you get past the incident, and he apparently passed between the yellow and the incident, and that's a no-no, and he's paid the price. Now, there's a lap car that Petey Cunningham's going around, but there's Derek, and in front of Derek is Archer.
Yep. So Cunningham in position to pick up 2 more, but these cars, each one he passes, they get a little stronger, a little harder to pass.
So Petey right now starting to move up through the order. There's Petey. Right in front is Derek Bell, and he is all over the back of Bobby Archer. So right now, a huge battle, and Derek Bell's right in the middle of it. Derek, how's it going?
Well, it's a bit hot and hairy out here. I had a bit of trouble earlier getting second gear, and I resolved that by being a better driver. But I'm really getting out-dragged by these guys in front. You can see Archer pulling away. However, I'm also having trouble with the power steering. It's a pretty clean old race. I've got PD coming up behind, so I guess I've got to contend with him going by me soon. Over.
All right, Derek, indeed. Boy, problems for Derek Bell. Power steering and gearbox-related issues. I love what he said. I overcame the gearbox problem by just becoming a better driver.
Yeah, that's
adjusting, isn't it?
You can hear how hard he's breathing in there, and if you've got a power steering problem on the banking, it's compounded because it artificially loads the car so hard, you've got to really struggle, so you can tell he's working hard today.
Well, that's one of the things about being a world-class driver, too, is adaptability. Something happens to the car, you've got to learn to drive around it or through it if you have to. Derek certainly can do that.
Yeah, and he already knows, of course, because he said so. Petey is coming, and he's going to have to contend with him, and that's going to happen in about 2 more corners.
So on board with Petey Cunningham. Now we go on board with Mr. Cooper, who finds himself now with said stop up into the top 5. He sits in 5th, but right in front is Dave Shart, who again missed the last round at Laguna, and Shart had been